What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am at the Italian cemetery, excuse me, in Colma, California. On the last video, you probably saw the mausoleum area across the street that I checked out. Now I'm across the street from that in the older section. So we're gonna walk around, wander some old private mausoleums, look at some headstones, and see what we can do in about 20 minutes before the place closes. Let's go. Cigarini is the name. Look at this stone. It's all in gold lettering. This is beautiful. Let's see here. If I can get up here and get a shot of this. Giovanni, 1874 to 1937. John, 1922 to 1943. Dominica, 1885 to 1962. William, 1925 to 1994. Albina, 1914 to 1999. And Evelyn, 1920 to 2010. The gold lettering is beautiful on this. Look at this one. G. Ponza F. Bernardi. It's big enough for 3, but they're in here behind the door. It's locked, but there's 1, 2, and then 1 on the bottom. There's 3 people in there. It's kind of hard to see names and stuff. I'm sure the family has a key to open it up so they can see stuff. It's kind of hard, you know, to see because the door and the ironwork on the door. But yeah, interesting. Yep, and it big enough for 3. Let's go over here. There's these interesting stones over here. Adelina Spencer, born in San Francisco, October 25th, 1907. Died October 23rd, 23. This black lettering is kind of washed out, so there's some paint in there, some not paint in there. Then John, can't even make out John, but look at the headstone. This is one of the little cabinet for little figurines and stuff in there. Beautiful. And then there's a picture of John and Adelina on the other side. I am out here in the rain, guys. This stone looks really cool. What is this one? Giusti is the last one. Look at this. It's just it's like a wreath, but it's metal. It's metal work on the stone, which is really cool. Artemia, 1856 to 1926, and Josephine, December 7th, 1978. Look at that. Beautiful. Some interesting stones are over here. Cavanaro is the name. The little angels on the top of this. Let's get a long shot of this right here. Beautiful. And this one's big enough for 6. 3 on the left and 3 on the right. It's hard to see the names. There's a Giacomo, 1870 to 1944. A Giovanni at the bottom there. 1909, 1949. There's an Angelo. On the left, it's kind of hard to read on the left side. It's reflection and it's dim in there. But yeah. This is beautiful. That one's really dark inside. I don't think I'm gonna see much of anything in there. I can't even see anything. That one's got some kind of plexiglass over it. Sirocco is the name. It's got some kind of heavy plexiglass, but there's a picture of a gentleman here. I can't make out the name, but there's an old portrait of him. I'm getting rained on out here. Because I love you guys. I'm getting rained on out here. Woo. We're fixing to get a storm, so after this, I'm taking my butt home. Prisenzano family. Look at this. This Italian cemetery is just massive, and it's got a lot of stuff. There's the view of the inside. There's a Mariano, May 27th, 1883 to September 10th, 1962. A Teresa. There's only 2 people in here, I think. No, there's 3. There's one on the top left. I can't see it all though. Teresa, January 6th, 1881 to April 23rd, 1948. And you see in the middle here's little figurines on a little pedestal. That's really cool. Some of these got spider webs inside too. Crazy. See the spider webs there? Inside this one? Squaglia is the last name. I can't really see the names inside. But there's an Angelina. I can't make out anything more than the name. Spider web. Ugh. Look at all that. No one's been in there for a while. Abe Boitano. Huh. It's beautiful stained glass in the back there. Antonio, 1868 to 1942, and I see that Candida, 1882 to 1979. I do believe. I can't make out. Those are the only 2 in there on the middle, left and right. I can't see up top. There's too much of a glare reflection here and darkness in there to see the whole thing. But oh, look at this stained glass in here. Demate is the family name. Wow. Look at that stained glass in there. Pandolfi, Paniso and Pandolfi, I do believe. Look at this stained glass. Some more spider webs in there, but look at the stained glass in the back there. This is beautiful. Hard to make out the names that are etched in there. There's flowers on the floor there in the middle. But there you go. Got to keep track of the time here. It's 3:48. I'll film for another 10 minutes in here, and then I'll come back. You know, I've been here before, but there's just so much to see at this one. There's a lot of different family mausoleums and everything, crypts in here, and everything else. Look at this one. To see in there. May Isola, 1886 to 1964. Oh wow, is that mold? That's mold on the floor in there, I think. That is not good. I do believe that's mold, if I'm not mistaken. Can't make out any other names in here though. Wow, this is beautiful. Servetto is the last name here. Looks like everybody's interred underneath that. Hear the rain hitting me. Tommaso, excuse me. May 26, 1977 to February 8th, 1996. As a young person. So, the son, that was the son, that the father by the same name, but I can't make that out. It's so light. 1832 or 1852 something. I can't make that out all the way though. Gotta be careful, this is slick stone and it's wet. See, Joseph, June 13th, 1908 to May 4th, 1998. Born in Italy. Born in Italy. Katie Cardinali. Look at this. Got this here, and it's collecting a bunch of water. A bunch of the rainwater. Katie has a picture actually on hers. E.L.E. Ferv died June 2nd, 1923, age 65. And there's Katie here. It's hard to make it out. There's another person here named Katie, and that's her picture. This is the back of a mausoleum that's right next to it. There's stained glass on that. That's how close all these are. That's how close they are in here. Oh boy, starting to come down now, kids. I'm doing this because I love you guys. Capurro. Capurro, I'm sorry, Capurro is the name. Look at this one. The inside of this. There's a Joseph on the left middle, born June 18th, 1900 and died in December 27th, 1986. There's a Linda down on the bottom. I can't make out her dates. Magdalena in there on the middle right, 1845 to 1912. That stained glass window in there. And there's a broom in this one too. I don't know if you can make that out, but there's a broom. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous graves. I tell ya. A lot of these are, some of these are in Italian. Gonna try to wrap this up, being that it's raining a little bit harder now. A tad smidgen, a bit harder. And we'll come back when the weather's a little bit more cheery. Look at this one. This thing's all bowed up. This stone, look at that. It's coming up. There were some stones over here in these trees where the tree started to grow around it. Where was it? I meant to show you guys that a minute ago and I forgot about it. Like these stones are becoming part of the tree. I've showed you guys that kind of stuff before in other cemeteries. Here we go. Damn. Look at this. Peruzzo is the last name. I can't make out the first. I think it's Armentino, I think. But look at it. It's becoming one with the tree. And then look at, there's a picture of the gentleman. Let me get around to the other side. There's more graves over here. As this tree grows, it starts claiming the stones around it. Look how this tree just grew around this stone. Mario Rossi, 1903 to 1934. Look at that. That is incredible how it grew perfectly around it. Okay, so I just checked. This place closes at 4:30 p.m. Oh boy. And it is 3:56. So we'll look around at a few more things before we get out of here. Look at these. This is like a neighborhood here with houses. I've shown this one before, but this is probably the coolest one I've seen. Campagno family, I do believe that's how you pronounce it. But let's look at this one first. Arata Grandana is the name. Grandana, I'm sorry, excuse me. My horrible pronunciation. But this one's got really clear glass in it. There's initials on the door. Look at that door. Beautiful. Let's see inside. Oh, there's a bunch of people in here. There's just tons. 1901. There's 2008 in here interred. Huh. Interesting. February 1863. Oh wow. Yeah, beautiful. It's kind of hard to see. I got a Francesco Arata, 1901. Just beautiful, and the tile on the floor there is just excellent as well. And I love the handles on the crypt facings of the faceplates. Very cool. And this one's interesting. I've shown it before, but it's got like a candelabra in there with melted candles that were lit at one time. The Campagno family, that's how you pronounce it. It says 1903 on the outside of this thing. Ooh, it's getting cold out here too. Cold and rainy. But that is it. That's beautiful, gorgeous. As you can see, way in the back there's that candles back there that were lit on that there's two fancy candelabras on the left and the right on that altar back there. Let me see if I can get a better shot of it for you. A little bit more of a better shot, a little closer. These GoPros aren't much on the zoom, but that stained glass is beautiful. And as you can see here, there's stones coming off underneath. There's moss or something underneath that stone. There's a piece of the stone on the floor there. But yeah. We're gonna press on. It's starting to come down a little bit now, but you know what? Screw it. We're gonna keep pressing on. That's what I'm here to do, is investigate and explore graves and everything in the cemetery. And that's what we're gonna get today. Dondero family right here. Now there's plexiglass over this. The names are etched really lightly, so it's hard to see from out here. But let's go up over the plexiglass here and look in. Look at this one. Ciro de Palma is the family name here. Look at this. This is just excellent. Hard to make out the names again. It's etched real light on this one as well. That's beautiful in there. Ooh. That one. Beautiful in there too. A little altar back there. Like a Virgin Mary statue, I do believe. lot of stuff I didn't see before up in here. Lots of stuff. Huh. What do you know? More little private families. Little areas over here. Battlora. Look at that. This one looks like it's been weathered. It's weather beaten out here on this one. Huh. Pietro, 1833 to 1908. It's the only one I can make out. There's only one person. Oh, there's a Felice in the bottom there. 1882 to 1908, I think, on the bottom. It's hard to see, but it's crumbling on the altar back there, next to that flower vase. To the left, that flower vase. There's like stone that came down off of something up in there. These are the other graves too. Fantina is the name. Wow. There's Antonio Fantina, 1850 to 1909. There's an old like duster back there, but it looks like it hasn't been touched in years. Biondi. I know that guy. There's the inside of it. It's beautiful. It's hard to make out, but Francesco Biondi, that's the guy that was on that picture up above the door. 1886 to 1927, I think. Filomena, 1862 to 1952. And again, an old broom in there that doesn't look like it's been touched in decades. Very wet out here. Beautiful. Hands are getting frozen, getting wet and getting cold. I'm not gonna be able to push the button on the camera very much anymore. But let's explore some more before I gotta leave. This place is just too awesome. Some of these old stones out here. There's like a children's section over here too. I think some of these are children. On the other side over there. Like I said, I'll have to come back here when the weather's a little bit more favorable. It's 4:11 right now. They're closing at 4:30. But we'll look at some of these old stones really quick before I leave. Whoa. Pietro d'Augusta. Hard to see. 1888 to 1977, San Francisco. Look at that old picture. That's crazy. It's fading up pretty good. Francesco, 1876 to 1917. This is old stone. loving these stones. Senti is the first name. Kind of hard to make out what the rest of it is. I think it's 1891 to 1920. There's a picture of the gentleman on the side. This little statue up top. And we got a Leopoldo Oedi. I'm not sure if that's the name or not. It's kind of hard to tell. But there's a picture of Leopoldo. Beautiful. Interesting stones. See, here's one right here of a child right here. Antoinetta. No, it's not a child. Looks like it's an adult. My bad. 1904 to 1917, though. I'm gonna start heading back towards the car, but we're gonna look at a few more over here before I leave. Vincenzo Barras, 1914. I think he might have died in 1914. There's a picture. Look at this gentleman over here. Boy, I can't even make this one out. But an interesting picture, nonetheless. Ooh boy, we're gonna have to go get something warm to drink after this. Let me tell you. Luigi Pastore, 1813, says. Or 1913, excuse me, I think it says 1913. Mary Magari, 1914, looks like it says. I think over here is a children's section. I see a lot of little stones, a little angel, baby-looking angels over on the other side over here. But I gotta go in a minute. Michelle. And it says 1891 to 1911. Oh boy. Whew. Which way, which way, which way? Ah, this is the children's section right here. See these little stones? And look at this little one right here. This little, it's not, there's no name on it, or there's not anymore. It's just there. Let's look at this stone. I think it's wood, possibly. GOC Xanoline, 1909 to 1911. Rest in peace. Oh wow. Memory of Vincenzo Pieri, 1910. But here's what's interesting. You've heard of that death photography people did back in the day. I think this picture is probably an after death photo, possibly. It's kind of hard to see. The eyes are open, so it's hard to tell. But I know this cemetery, there's a couple stones in here I've heard about that have casket pictures of people. I'm not sure which graves they are, but I heard the cemetery does have a couple of those. But I know the eyes are open, so kind of hard to tell. But so it kind of looked like when I first walked up. All right. Beautiful area. Sad, but beautiful. Oh boy, I gotta get out of here. My hands are freezing up. We're out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Oh boy, and click that bell icon. Therefore, you'll be notified of all of my future uploads, guys. Once again, it was a pleasure, and I'll talk to you later.